Race Weekend is brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology.
The 2018 FlatOut Race Series was a good year for the grassroots circuit motorsport event, with a great deal more participation from competitors and a huge jump in fan interest. Race Weekend virtually covered every round of this year's exciting fourth season, including the 8th and final round, and got to meet with organizers, competitors, and stakeholders of the popular grassroots motorsport series.
We're here once again in Clark International Speedway for the final round of the 2018 FlatOut Race Series. Let's go check how intense the final race is. It's the final round of the 2018 FlatOut Race Series. As has been usual when the weather was perfect for a day of racing on the track, or even when it was not as perfect, the pit lane and pit garages are crowded with entries. The Clark International Speedway reverberates to the sounds of engines revving, tires squealing, competing with the music blaring from loudspeakers when they are not commanded by the track announcer calling for drivers to take the track or announcing record times. Again, sharing the track with the Formula V1 Challenge, it's an action-packed and hectic race weekend for weekend warriors of the FlatOut Race Series. Batches of drivers are called to line up to wait for their turn for the time attack. And those who perform well in respective time brackets, at least those in speedier classes, then qualify for the grid races. On the last day of the FlatOut Race Series, organizers introduced new classes, the Super Compact 1500 class, that they plan to make part of the competition next year. On the final day of competition, the usual suspects are back vying to podium places in respective brackets, for the fastest bracket A to the slowest bracket G, and in the special bracket R, production, supercar, and the 86 classes. Anthony Sonko topped the time attack for bracket A, relegating Rafael Lau to second. Paolo was back on top of bracket B. Don Fru was an unfamiliar name atop bracket C. Robert Tan ruled bracket D. Patrick Manapat took the top step of bracket E podium. Bracket F found Anthony Raymond Santos earning the max points for the day. It's dual pitting Miguel Hortel against John Espanola in bracket G, which was won by the former. Dominic Bon was a toast of both the bracket R production and the supercar classes, while those competing in the 86 class found themselves all beaten by Christopher Ko. Then came the grid races. Rafael Lau benefited from Dominic Bon suffering a DNF in the grid A race. Eduardo Pujo crossed the finish line ahead of all others competing in grid B. Anthony Martin outpaced Paul Santos in grid C. Results of Grid D didn't exactly follow the order of finish, with Armand Marqueda benefiting from penalties assessed Erwin Manawag for causing a collision and Andre Makinatan and Paul Conquanco both getting penalized 2 minutes for hard breakouts. Cody Nang ended up on top of Grid E podium, while Jeff Pobadora and Felix Chua were assessed time penalties for hard breakouts. And after all the time attacks and grid races have been done for the year, all the points from each round are accounted for, and champions are brackets R and A, Rafael Lau; bracket B, Paulo Santos; bracket C, Paul Santos; bracket D, Robert Tan; bracket E, Mark Anton David; bracket F, Cody Nang; bracket G, Gabi De Sales. In the grid races, they are Rafael Lau, grid A; Paulo Santos, grid B; Paul Santos, grid C; Andre Makinatan, grid D; Cody Nang, grid E. Race Weekend caught up with the two of the winners in the slower brackets who are in their first year competing in the FlatOut Race Series.
It was an awesome year for me. It's my first time joining Force this year. I initially started with bracket F in round 1, and then round 2 I broke out. So I moved up the ladder to bracket E. So I competed in bracket E from round 2 to round 8 up to this round. So it was a great year. So I won the championship in round 7 with a 29-point lead. So coming into the last round, I already secured the championship.
He also added the importance of adjusting to changing conditions, not just on the car but on his driving as well.
I think it's about your perseverance to improve. Make sure you practice a lot to improve your driving skills. Car setup is also important because every race the conditions are changing, so you have to adjust to the conditions, not only in setup but also in your driving. During wet conditions, I'm very careful not to spin out. Of course, I have to adjust to the different lines, racing lines during wet conditions. I'm actually faster in the dry. That's a self-realization for me joining this year for the first time. I'm more faster in the dry, so I have to practice more in the wet.
Another newcomer who's done good in forest this year is Gabby Desales, the girl who took on and beat the boys in Bracket G.
After a year of racing of circuit, I definitely learned a lot in terms of car control, discipline, and trying to always surpass my previous lap times. Also with the help of my team Shell, who constantly guided me and pushed me to be better and to always be better than I was before.
Gabby shares how pushing herself more has become an impact to her in her first year in circuit racing. Aside from that, being the lone lady driver in her class, she also encourages women to be involved in motorsports.
The biggest lesson I've learned is to constantly push myself further, and there's always room for improvement. It's never, what I do will never be enough because there's always gonna be a way to bring down my time, to perform faster, and with that, I learned to constantly push myself further and to keep on improving. I think my edge as the only lady driver here is that I don't let my gender get in the way of my performance. I want to encourage more women to join motorsports. I didn't see it as a hindrance that I was the only girl, and I didn't see it as a hindrance because I wanted to perform the same way as the boys.
And what is her secret to success?
I think the secret to winning championship is consistency and constant desire for improvement. To always continue to improve with every lap time, with every round. There's always gonna be room for improvement, and with the help of everyone backing me, they're the ones who constantly guide me and find ways for more improvement.
Gabby is also looking to level up next year.
Hopefully, what's next for me is to get into grid racing after a year of time attack.
This year has been quite a success for Force, which has steadily grown in popularity and stature among local motorsports aficionados over the years, something that the people at Automobile Association of the Philippines is happy about.
Well, it's part of our advocacy in AAP that we sanction all four-wheeled motorsports events in the country. And Force is one of the grassroots racing series here in the country. So we are in 101 full support with the series. We've been working with them since the first year of Circuit Showdown before, and now it has grown enormously, the number of cars and the participants. We are very happy that we at AAP are helping our organizers to organize safe and fun events like this one.
The AAP Motorsports Department Operations Manager and Motorsports Development Program Head also stressed that Force has been in the partnership with them ever since as part of the kids' training and has become a big factor in developing their racing skills.
Since we started the MSDP, we are already in partnership with Force and with Slalom Racing. That part of the training of the kids will be here in Force and the Slalom. And eventually it turned out very well. Right now, some of the top drivers here in Force are proudly to say that all of them are MSDP graduates. We invite everyone, age 16 to 19 years old and even older, to join us in MSDP, the Motorsport Development Program, wherein we teach not only how to drive in motorsports, but also there's a mixture of road safety. It is a special program designed by the AAP and the FIA. So we encourage everyone who wants to be involved in motorsports to at least do the MSDP, and we will introduce you the proper way to learn and to be involved in motorsports.
Breakout is not a good term for those competing in the bracket time attacks or in grid races, but it's a good term when used in another context, as in 2018 was a breakout year for Force.
I'm here with Force organizer, Mr. Hazard Boy himself, Edward De La Rosa. Hi Edward, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for coming here and gracing our event.
Can you tell us throughout the course of the season, can you explain to the viewers how the success was attained by Force?
Maybe siguro at first, we are actually active in actually teaching some yung mga beginners, ganon. So actually also developing their cars or improving them kasi we also have a shop na actually we cater different types of cars naman. So from there, siguro we try to invite them inside the track so they can try out their cars para makita talaga nila yung in-improve ng kotse nila, yung performance and handling. So siguro from there, we encourage them na to try and join here in our events para mag-gauge nila to different types of cars na makakalaban nila. So siguro dun sila nag-enjoy.
It is also good to note how each discipline are embracing one another and altogether improve the state of local motorsports industry and make it known more to the rest.
Since this is one of the premier racing leagues that we have here in the Philippines, no? Can you explain to the viewers kung paano siya or how well is it being again embraced by the racing public?
Yeah, so far kasi since actually even us, we also participate in different types of motorsports din. So autocross and slalom, yung ibang mga drivers din namin. So para at least makita nila na lahat ng discipline is okay as long as it's motorsports. And siguro yung maganda ron yung camaraderie with other drivers din. So siguro pag nakabuo kayo ng isang group, dumadami na lang, lumalaki siya as one family siguro. Yun yung naging namin siguro.
Okay. So how excited are you guys for next season?
Yeah, for next season definitely we have many in store. Actually this ito yung nangyayaring race ngayon, yung Super Compact 1500. So bring your any 1500 car na compact car. So yan, meron silang grid race and also a time attack na race na on your own class sa kanila lang. And then other than that, yung the usual namin na bracket racing na grid and time attack, yun pa rin. And we also have the bracket R, yung open class. So meaning kahit naka-slick tires kayo, kahit 1,000 horsepower yung car mo, you can join. So yung mga supercars na mga owners dyan na mahilig mag-track, so yan, dito natin makikita yung mga lap times ng mga cars nila. Kanina ata, may mga Porsche na sumasali, tsaka mga GTR. So maganda makakita sa racetrack, at least they're putting their cars and at good use, di ba? Nakita mo talaga yung power niya tsaka yung handling here at the racetrack.
Alright, that's it. Thank you very much, Edward, and looking forward to next season.
Thank you rin, boss.
And that concludes the final race for 2018 of the FlatOut Race Series, as Force promises another exciting season next year. My name is Ray Louis Gamboa. See you next week.
Sadly, it's going to be a long wait for next year's FlatOut Race Series for both drivers and fans of the grassroots motorsports discipline, which is made even longer after the series' success this year whetted our appetite for more fun and exciting, but more importantly, safe racing for all. But we are certain the wait will be worth it.
This week's feature on Race Weekend has been brought to you by Phoenix Fuels.
Make every trip come alive with Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology. These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.